Alright, boys, let's clap some cheeks. Sorry about that, folks. Alright, let's play Op Steel Wave. I'm ready to buy Ace and Lucy, but I gotta wait a fucking week. I mean, I'm happy with this loadout. It's not good, but it's not bad. I mean, it's an AK, which I'm fine with. But then the M1014 is like, oh. Then we have our P9. So he's just,
You're gay, Caden. You're gay.
Oh yeah? 1v1 me
You're
then.
gay, Caden.
1v1 me then, stinky.
You're gay, Caden.
You know, that really hurts my feelings.
You're gay, Caden.
Stop. Oh, stop.
You're gay, Caden.
Stop.
You're gay, Caden.
Stop.
You're gay, Caden.
Quit it. You're gay.
You're gay, Caden.
No, you.
You're gay, Caden.
You're gay.
You're gay, Caden.
Stop.
You're gay, Caden.
If you say it again, if you say
You're gay, Caden.
If you say it, if you say it,
You're
if
gay,
you say it
Caden.
again, if you say
Parker is gay.
Okay.
Parker is gay.
Okay. 1v1 me, retard.
Parker is gay.
Yeah, we kind of understand that already.
Parker is gay. Parker is gay. Parker is gay.
No.
Parker is
You.
gay.
Are you guys on or not?
Parker is gay.
Can you please not ruin
Parker is gay. Parker is gay.
Can you like not ruin the entire fucking stream?
Parker is gay. George Floyd.
Oh, yes, George Floyd.
George Floyd. George Floyd.
Yes.
George Floyd. George Floyd. George Floyd.
Lincoln, get on.
George Floyd.
Please, can you stop fucking spamming?
George Floyd.
George Floyd.
Are you good?
Floyd,
George Floyd.
Whoa,
Don't
buddy,
care,
I never
don't care.
Exactly.
George Floyd.
I'm gonna go feud.
Yeah.
Nah, G, I'm gonna go feud.
George
Why weren't you
Floyd.
guys talking? Why weren't you guys talking earlier? Well, we were on pretty chatters.
I was shoving
Oh,
the
yeah.
mic in and out of my ass.
George Floyd.
That's
Did
insane.
we ask? Did we ask?
George
Yeah.
No, that's
Floyd.
actually insane. That's actually insane.
Like,
I don't remember asking. Yeah,
George
you guys are
Floyd.
so funny. How old are you? 9?
I didn't say shit.
George
Me?
Floyd.
Yeah, how old are you guys?
I'm 10. Why would I
10.
tell you that?
George Floyd.
Because you sound like you're about 9.
I'm not 9 at all.
George Floyd.
Yeah.
The oldest you
Sounds
can be
like
is
he's
12.
11.
Me?
What?
George
I sound like
Floyd.
I'm 11.
I never said that.
no,
Oh.
no, the guy who just
George
talked
Floyd.
sounded like 11.
Yeah.
George Floyd.
Whoever guesses how old I am will get like $5 in gift cards.
George Floyd.
12.
5 seconds to insertion.
Nope.
16.
George Floyd.
Nope.
Damn, bro.
Found a bomb.
Crap.
Make your way to its
I
location.
really want it.
George Floyd.
They didn't get my drone. Oh, these faggots. Shit. Duck spawn peeking.
George
I'll
Floyd.
get
And a
Doc.
Volk. Nice.
George Floyd.
You got Duck or?
George Floyd.
It's literally a Volk on the other side.
I'm guessing you're 20?
George
No.
Floyd.
No.
14.
He's probably like 16 or some shit.
I said
George
16.
Floyd.
I got
Okay.
Doc. Fuck, I'm out of ammo.
George
I
Floyd.
got
How are you
sniped.
out of ammo?
I
What?
killed Doc, and then
George Floyd.
someone killed me. I forget who.
George
They're not
Floyd.
very good. They're kind of
Last operator standing.
George Floyd.
they're camping it right outside that doorway.
Go party,
George
go.
Floyd.
The diffuser has been secured.
George Floyd.
I'll turn off comments. If you don't stop, I'm gonna turn off comments.
Wait, I'm gonna guess you're
George Floyd.
15?
Close.
George Floyd.
I already said 14.
Yes.
George Floyd.
You're 14?
Yes.
I swear I said that.
George Floyd.
Oh yeah, I
said
said it, but you
16.
didn't. You did. Yeah, I said 16. Then I said 14. I don't
George
think you heard it.
Floyd.
Who should I go? I guess. I'll
George
go.
Floyd.
Well,
You vetsman. I don't have a lot of
George
skins.
Floyd.
I have a lot of skins.
George
I don't. I have
Floyd.
like 5 or. I have 4 on attackers and 4 on defenders.
George Floyd.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
My favorite ones
George
is
Floyd.
Pulse and not Sludge.
Yeah. Hold on, I gotta turn
I-
down my mic. You
George
can- it's
Floyd.
kinda loud right there.
I'm on my screen. I'm following through the map
George
with my
Floyd.
drone.
Oh, that's nice.
I wish I could
George
show
Floyd.
you, but I'm literally falling. See?
George Floyd.
They're
has
well.
found a bomb.
They're all on score.
You guys.
George Floyd.
Everyone go to Front Street. Not side
George
street.
Floyd.
In 10 seconds.
Okay, I'm going Front Street. I don't think the
George
other guys
Floyd.
can't hear you.
Okay.
You sounded like you were 16.
George Floyd.
Or at least like 19 or something.
Yeah.
George
I
Floyd.
wish, then I'd have my license for my motorcycle.
George Floyd.
Cool.
I don't have my motorcycle license right now. I have a bike, but I don't
George
have
Floyd.
a license for it.
Okay, cool.
When I say bike, I mean motorcycle.
George Floyd.
I don't have a motorcycle, I have a bike.
George Floyd.
Yeah. Well, that's a good
So
place
what?
to start.
George Floyd.
Hey, idiot. I wasn't
George
talking
Floyd.
to you.
George
Nothing.
Floyd.
You want a 1v1? I'm YouTube.
George Floyd.
Now secured. We must recover the diffuser.
George
Yeah.
Floyd.
I'm winning in a siege.
George
casual.
Floyd. George Floyd.
Yeah, I've never played rank before. I have it unlocked, but
George Floyd. George Floyd.
Down to one friendly.
George Floyd.
okay. I'm just gonna
George
leave
Floyd.
this game. Lincoln
George
commented
Floyd.
George Floyd 112 times so far on my stream.
George Floyd.
It's literally still going. Can I make it?
George Floyd. George Floyd.
Okay. Okay. I got a trophy on Steep a little, like 2 hours ago when me and Nick were playing. And
George
I don't know what it
Floyd.
was, but I looked at it and it's because I fell so fucking far.
George Floyd. George Floyd.
I can. Hold on.
George Floyd.
I have ranked unlocked.
George Floyd.
It
George Floyd.
Oh, I have to get ranked again and
George Floyd.
okay.
George Floyd.
Oh, okay.
George Floyd. George Floyd. George Floyd. George Floyd.
Yeah,
George
okay,
Floyd.
Hold on. Oh my god, I'm getting ready to turn off comments. We're on number 118 of George Floyd. Number 119. And these are from 8 minutes ago. All of the. Oh my god, it's literally. He must have. I'm gonna turn off comments. I'm being serious. Hold on.
Floyd.
Just join my live stream at my channel.
George Floyd.
And you can see it's literally George Floyd and you're gay.
George
you're gay
Floyd.
was earlier, but now it's just George Floyd repeated. I'm gonna turn it off for a second so it cancels all of them. Yeah. We're just gonna do Master Battle.
Down to 5 seconds.
George Floyd.
Cause, yeah. We'll do Garage Wars in a second.
George Floyd. George Floyd.
Oh my god, it's still going. I thought I fixed the problem, but I
George
didn't.
Floyd.
Of the, it's saying George Floyd.
George
I'm
Floyd.
gonna have to turn it off. I've memorized how
Floyd.
to spell his name at this point because I've heard it so many times.
George Floyd.
George Floyd fucking died. Yeah, I know.
George Floyd. George Floyd.
I wish her traps would like snap drones.
George
like,
Floyd.
And I wish you could reset her traps. Like she had a 2-time use.
George
on each
Floyd.
Trap. Yeah, and her like.
George Floyd.
Yeah. What?
George Floyd.
What?
George Floyd. George Floyd. George Floyd.
I'll look in a second. It might
George
have been
Floyd.
Bill Gates' birthday or something. I don't fucking know.
George Floyd.
Bill Gates. He got some message about respect for Bill Gates.
George Floyd. George Floyd.
Fuck. I knew you were there.
Mission failure.
George Floyd.
You never hit me once.
George Floyd.
No, but was playing
George
as
Floyd.
Valkyrie.
George Floyd.
Yeah, Parker.
George
I was
Floyd.
fused. What were you talking about? God.
George Floyd.
How disabled are you on scale of apple
George
to
Floyd.
orange?
Locate the biohazard container.
George Floyd.
Like Tanner's girlfriend. No, I'm joking.
George Floyd. George Floyd.
Biohazard container
I don't know.
Clear to engage.
Okay, I forgot that Capiteo had
George
a scope
Floyd.
for his machine gun, and I thought it was like a really long-range sniper scope. but
George Floyd.
It's, yeah, it's an ACOG.
George Floyd. George Floyd.
Yeah, but like it's really wide and I can
George
see
Floyd.
everything. And it's like fucking.
George Floyd.
I know, but I don't really want zoom with a machine gun. I want to be able to fucking.
George Floyd.
Yeah.
George Floyd. George Floyd.
There's fire and smoke things.
George Floyd. George Floyd.
And what if I just watch it?
George Floyd.
How? I hit you in your head on my stream. Did I hit you at all?
George Floyd. George Floyd.
Bro, there's blood splatter behind you on my screen, like I'm being serious.
George Floyd.
Like, I hit you in the head. I know.
George
It
Floyd.
says I...
George Floyd.
I know, but it looked like I hit your head. I don't know, that's kind of...
George Floyd.
Hey, go.
George Floyd.
What's his
Yeah.
name?
George Floyd.
Doc? Dummy?
Shut
George
up.
Floyd.
Doc revived himself.
Stop, Parker.
And Doc?
George Floyd.
I know, I'm not even Doc, I'm Castle.
We need to protect the biohazard
I want to test out this
George
proximity
Floyd.
over.
10 seconds remaining.
I know, the
George
ump and
Floyd.
the super shorty.
Down to 5 seconds.
Yeah,
George Floyd.
Op 4 has failed to find the biohazard container.
and
George Floyd.
I'm sad they got rid of his impacts, but...
Who's in pack?
George Floyd.
Oh, I thought they did. Okay.
George Floyd.
Okay.
Op 4 has spotted the biohazard container.
George Floyd.
Oh, here, look where I
George
put him.
Floyd.
Look, one here.
George Floyd.
But he's gonna be guarding.
George Floyd.
Okay.
George Floyd.
I went to put a barricade down, and I was like, oh yeah, I can put down one of these.
George Floyd. George Floyd.
Did she say my name?
For the first time I ever saw the
Did
George
Mom just say
Floyd.
my name? Okay. You wanna play for me?
George Floyd. George Floyd.
Okay, here, Parker, you can
Failed.
play for me.
All friendlies were
I'm
eliminated.
coming!
George Floyd. George Floyd.
Tanner, I'll be on in a little bit.
George Floyd.